Welcome to this edition of Inside the Cardinal Playbook this week. And Coach went up to Indy and had him on the rope, so he played really good first half, time possession. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I was really excited with the way we started the game offensively. Defensively, we're a little hesitant again, and that's what we're going to be until we change. But let them score on the first drive. And we'll get that corrected, but offensively we did a lot of really good things first half, and then the second half not so much. So we got to continue to understand that we have to play extremely hard and physical the entire game, not just at times.
Yeah, you don't have any room for error.
No.
Why don't you talk about that a little bit? And we're not making excuses, neither one of us. But
No.
you have none. I had a chance to go watch Northwestern Pitt play. Mm-hmm. They have room for error. Mm-hmm. They do. You right now in your program, mm-hmm. not a knock on William Jewell or you or your program. Right. You don't have room for error.
No, and that's that's something we preach and we'll understand that zero negative plays. I mean, I'm being serious. When I say that, we can't have negative plays and be successful, and that goes to some of the youth on the offensive line. Redshirt freshman here, a true freshman.
Absolutely, got a lot of young kids.
Well, and there's the one places you can't play true freshmen and be really good are the offensive and defensive line, and that's where we're playing true freshmen and redshirt freshmen. So it bodes well for the future, but people have to understand what's happening. Behind the scenes with the recruiting and whatnot. And look, we can look at the record all we want, but if you don't know what's going on behind, we're winning a lot of games behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. With the culture change and the recruiting.
Right, it takes time.
Yeah. It does. They want to make it a process. Okay, great. I hate the word process, but if that's the way it's going to be, that's the way it's going to be.
Well, you were in the red zone. You talked to me a little bit about being in the red zone, and I've kind of brought up the point that we've kind of been behind 8 ball in the red zone. Mm-hmm. But you came out with at least points this time.
Yeah. We settled for 2 field goals. Our first drive, 2 drives, and actually our second drive started about the 6-yard line or something. Went all the way down the field against a team that you look at their personnel. They're 6'4", 300+ across the O-line, and their defensive line is big and
All-American receiver.
Yeah, and they just that was they're a good football team. Their record may not show it, but they didn't turn the ball over against us like they'd been doing, and quarterback had settled in and played pretty well for them. So that's a good team. You don't win 4 conference championships in a row and have a bad program.
And they have a great facility. It's a great program. You're exactly right. They're just having a down year, and that happens sometimes, Yep. But they've definitely been established in the league for a long time. Yep. Looking at this and, going into the last game of the year, we played Lincoln. Why don't you talk a little bit about Lincoln? They've had their struggles. Mm-hmm. We had some really downing but great games with them the last couple of years when you think about it. Down to the wire. A couple of different.
Too good.
Yeah, too good.
And that's the way it's going to be again this year. I would anticipate that being the case. And they have some good athletes. They really do. And watching on film and we gotta go get after them. And we have every reason in the world under the sun to practice well this week and go play. And that's what the catalyst we're talking about is when this thing going to change. And that's the behind the scenes stuff. Is we continue to go play until someone tells us to stop. And that's what's expected of our kids. That's what we do.
And like I said, you're exactly right. We have one more game left on the schedule, and that's what your job is. And you look at it. But I tell you what, if you can win the last one, that's a nice taste in your mouth, though, as far as workouts and positive things to build on, and opportunities definitely there. Real quickly, and next week probably will be our last show of the year, we'll talk a little bit more about recruiting and stuff. But I'm sure that as many young people is playing for you right now, mm-hmm. that the parents that might be listening to this might want to be interested in what's the future look like? What's your vision right now? Where you're at?
Yeah, I think it's very bright, and I'm not just saying that because I know the culture changes that have happened in the locker room, and what the next step is the accountability on the field and off the field and in the summertime and in off-season workouts, because it's going to be difficult. It's going to be real difficult, and they're going to understand what it takes to take that next step from a physical standpoint. And those guys are growing up too. We had the pipelines full. We had a good recruiting class being hired January 15th. You had about less than 3 weeks to get that class going. But then last year was our first full cycle recruiting class, and I was happy with the first one, but extremely excited about the second one. That's what those young kids got to understand. Hey, you got to mature.
Well, what I've noticed too, watching the Pitt Northwest game, is depth difference. Mm-hmm. I see you, and I'm close to your program, and I see it every week. And somebody asked me the difference, and I said, bro, up there, I said depth. Mm-hmm. We get a frontline kid that goes down. We don't have the depth at all the positions. You may have one lineman that you're playing at guard and tackle. Yeah, on both sides. Right. That's who's going to be the filling guy. It's not the case at those schools, and I think the Jewell people need to understand that. They have a left tackle that's a backup. They have a left guard that's a backup. They have a center that's a backup, right guard, and right tackle. And they're backups that are capable. At William Jewell, am I right? We have 2 linemen, basically, that back up the front 5.
Yeah. That are ready to go. They're old enough, mature enough, and that's just that's where we are in the program, in this process of building things. As we those backups right now are redshirt freshmen or redshirting or whatnot. So. Mm-hmm.
Well, your point too. I got to ask you this question. This is just from you have been able to get skill kids. You have good skill kids.
Yeah.
And everybody that I talk to says, "Oh yeah, you guys score 28, 30, all the time." Mm-hmm. But they come up a little short. And I go right back to the depth thing, and the hardest thing for William Jewell to get, not necessarily is skill kids. It's those big kids on the offensive D. Why? And the question I'm going to ask you, why?
Great question. And the fact of the matter is those kids, they're going to schools that are paying for their school. The good ones. They are. Period.
Because everybody has to have them.
Yeah, you have to have them. So you got to give them money.
Yeah.
And in a situation where you're going to come out of pocket some here.
Uh-huh. And that's different.
This is free or this is out of pocket.
Right. And that's pretty much.
And we sell the heck out of value, but.
Yeah.
How much?
But reality is reality. Just like the last game of the year, it's going to be this Saturday at noon here at William Jewell against Lincoln. That's a reality. And what you're talking about is you're dealing in Division II, and that's a reality.
It is.
And I think that people need to understand that and go.
No doubt.
Well, let's hope that everybody will keep with the ship. We'll finish strong. I know you will. I know how you're made up, and I know you'll have them ready to go. And it's always been a good ball game with Lincoln, and good opportunity to get one on the board here before the 2016 season's over. And hopefully all the Jewell fans will come out at 12 o'clock start. Again, we hope to see you this Saturday. Thank you for watching Inside the Cardinal Playbook. And again, we'll hope to see you at noon on Saturday against the Lincoln squad coming up for another effort. Okay, we'll see you there.